Hello, everybody. Welcome to my webinar on energy called Good Vibrations. So my name's Sonia. I'm a life coach and I work with women in their 30s, 40s and 50s to reach their full potential in their professional and personal lives. So if you're watching this live with me, then fab. If you're watching this over on my YouTube channel, then even better. You won't really need anything with you for the next 45 minutes or so. But if you've got a bit of paper and a pen, that might be good because there might be something you'd like to jot down. Or if you've got your phone, then you can create a little note to yourself. So again, warm welcome to Good Vibrations. So we will get straight on and I'm going to share my screen. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, hopefully you can see. So as I say, this is called Good Vibrations, and we are going to be talking today about energy. And energy is at the heart of this webinar, why we have it or why we don't have it, how to use it, achieve it, to prosper, thrive and succeed. And I suppose what I would say from the outset is these are just the things that I think that help us with our internal energy. And there may be thousands of other things that you have used or have read about, and that's absolutely fine. But hopefully this will give you a little bit of an insight and some new thinking around how to harness that energy that you have to live a fuller life, a prosperous life, thrive, succeed, whatever your goals are in life. Then we absolutely have to have the energy to do that. So what is human energy then? So if I say about energy, there are all sorts of things probably that will come to mind. So a few things there that I've written down: the capacity to do work or engage in activities. Absolutely, we need energy to go walking, to actually just do the basic stuff in our daily lives. We get energy from the chemicals in our food, so certain foods will give us more energy than others. The rate of work produced by the human body again, that provides us with the energy. The invisible energy field surrounding the human body. If you are a fan of reading stuff about auras and spirituality and chakras and the medians in the body, then you will know what I'm talking about when I talk about that. And the electrical impulses and electromagnetic waves that influence our brain and bodily functions. So those are kind of few things that we may touch on today going through this webinar on energy. And again, I would encourage you to really think about the word energy and what that means to you. So we've all heard the word vibration and vibe and kind of, it's a bit of a thing word at the moment, isn't it, around, I don't like your vibe, or I'm vibing with that person. But that really comes from the word vibrations. And I would challenge you to think about yourself in this regard when we kind of talk about this. Are you a high vibrational person? So a person that is vibrating at a high intensity will display and adapt and share a different kind of energy with you or themselves than somebody that is vibrating at a lower intensity. So those people that you are around on a daily basis, when you go to work tomorrow, where you interact with your friends, kind of do a bit of an assessment on whether those people are high vibrational people or not. So usually when we talk about person vibrating at a higher intensity, we see those people as more empathetic and compassionate. They are more generous and they are incredibly more optimistic. than people that operate on a low vibrational intensity. They feel good, they're more forgiving, and they have good boundaries. They know themselves, they're quite in tune with their own feelings and their own body, and they're quite insightful individuals. So they understand that boundaries are important for all sorts of reasons. They are great at manifesting. And when we talk about manifesting, we talk about the ability to think and feel and see the future before it's even happened, to put ourselves in a place that we would want to be in, 6 months' time, 12 months' time, etc. They have good intuition, so they're very intuitive people because they are very in tune with themselves. They are very comfortable with their own being. They are very comfortable in their own skin. They tend to be more intuitive than people that operate on a low vibrational intensity. They love everything about taking care of themselves, and they think that that is the main priority that they go through life with. They themselves are their priority. And we see lots of people that perhaps operate on a lower intensity, rushing around thinking about everyone else other than themselves. But these people put themselves first. They trust and gravitate, and they bring those people towards them. So people trust them. They gravitate towards them. You see animals more inclined to gravitate towards those kind of people that are more intensely in tune with themselves. And most important, they surround themselves with people exactly like them. So they are surrounded by positive people. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later, because that is a really important point. When you are harnessing your own energy, it's no point you having great energy if you're surrounded with people that don't have that same energy. So I challenge you again, have a little think about that when you go about your daily day, when you go out with friends, whether you're in work, etc. Who are the people that you want to spend time with? Who are the people that make you feel good? Who are the people that give you their energy back, and you give your energy to them? So I'm going to talk a little bit about Wonder Woman. Now, Wonder Woman obviously is a superhero. Now, depending on your age, you might you might recognize the picture on it's the left side of my screen. So Linda Wagner in her traditional Wonder Woman outfit. Or if you're a younger person, you might recognize and affiliate with the other picture, the absolutely gorgeous French lady Gal, I can't remember her surname, but the current Wonder Woman. And you will notice both of them have slightly different poses. And I've put the power pose in there, not that I want to encourage this particular stance to create power over others. But this is something more about confidence and how standing in a certain way gives you confidence and gives you energy. So I'm going to challenge you or ask you, when you're next out on your walk or when you're next getting ready and you're doing your makeup in front of your mirror, try this pose. Try standing very upright and put your hands on your hips. And you might want to put your legs slightly apart, your feet slightly apart, and really stretch the chest out and keep your head and chin high. And just stand there for a couple of minutes and feel how strong your body feels in that pose, and feel how your kind of spine is elongated. And if you could think of yourself as if you're hanging on a piece of string and the string is pulling up on your head, try to make sure that your posture is a strong posture, that it absolutely grounds your feet into the ground. And again, we'll talk about that later on. And that you feel strength and confidence in that pose. And it's incredibly powerful, especially if you are feeling in a place where either you lack energy, lack confidence, or you just want to give yourself a boost. You can do this pose anywhere. But what you can also do is do that outside. So when you're going, because combining that energy in the outdoors, in the outdoor environment, if you're walking your dog or you're going for a walk in the woods, wherever you're doing, if you stand tall, you stand strong, you will absolutely feel some energy. You might want to close your eyes and try to harness that energy. And I absolutely would ask you to try that. I have suggested this to a couple of my clients, and they have absolutely felt the benefit of that. And don't care what people think, don't care what people say, just let them. A top tip as well, if you haven't heard of Mel Robbins, I'd Google her, and especially Mel Robbins's theory on let them. It's so interesting, and it's absolutely so true. So have a jot down of that, and have a look at Mel Robbins, let them. So gratitude. Gratitude is all about recognizing the good things in your life. It is also about the role that other people play in those positive events. Practicing gratitude can have a huge impact on your well-being. Set aside a few minutes each day to think about the good things and to be thankful for those, however small. And I wanted to read that out loud because that is just something I think that as a society, as perhaps women, more than men maybe, I don't know, that is just my view, that we don't tend to feel grateful for the things that we have. We tend to look at life perhaps from a cup half empty perspective, and we think that maybe to be grateful means to have lots of expensive things in our life. But that is absolutely not true. So gratitude is about those small things. So what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for in this very moment that we're having this conversation? There might be something that is happening right around you at the minute whilst you're listening to this. You know, you might hear your children running around. You know, you're grateful for their happiness, you know, their health. Somebody might be making you your tea, and you're grateful for somebody doing that for you after a busy day at work. It can be those things that are so small and we take for granted that are the most powerful things in our life that we should be grateful for. And when you practice gratitude, whether you think about that, you know, for a couple of minutes every morning, or whether you're an avid journaler and you journal about your gratitude every day or every week, then that will really give you a huge amount of positive energy. And something that you could try is just over a week, try practicing gratitude and compare the energy that you have throughout the day with the week that you haven't practiced gratitude. And I would start your morning just with a couple of minutes sitting quietly, just having a think of what you're grateful for. So that's something that you could start tomorrow. Now, spirituality means quite a lot of things for different people. And I've put a couple of pictures in here, a couple of words that may kind of make you think about that spiritual connection, whether you have one already, or that's something that you think that is missing in your life, and maybe you could start practicing some of these things. And these also bring you a tremendous amount of either comfort, peace, but also energy. So mindfulness and meditation, living a mindful life, is sometimes really difficult. I really struggle with being mindful. And that is all about living in the present, and living your day right there as it is. Not thinking about what happened yesterday, not thinking about what's happening in the future, not thinking about what ifs, what coulds, what should have happened. It's actually today and living in that moment. And that's really hard. And I think that's really hard just generally because of the busy world and the busy lives that we all lead. But it is truly something that can be practiced, can be learnt. And if you master that, absolutely fabulous. It's still something that I struggle with because my mind is very busy and I have to really, really concentrate on living in that moment now. And doing this webinar with you is helping me do that because I am absolutely with you and living in this moment together with you over the next few minutes or so. Meditation, again, there is a whole host of research around how meditation helps all sorts of things in your life, anxiety, well-being, but it also gives you so much energy if you're able to practice meditation successfully. If you sit quietly, do your power pose, close your eyes, live in that moment, do some meditation. I absolutely guarantee you will feel more energized in that morning going into that day than you will ever feel if you do not practice that. If you're rushing out of bed, everything's hectic, you're late, you skip breakfast, you're having coffee on the go, all of those things are real bad energy. So give that a go. I put faith in there because faith is a really important connection for lots and lots of people. And regardless of whatever faith you are, that brings a whole host of comfort and peace to so many people. I talked about grounding before when we talked about the power pose. Now, you can do the power pose and grounding at the same time. Now, this is quite a new kind of theory that I've been reading around lately, and it's about how you feel when you're actually connected physically to the earth. Now, you see that picture of that lady. I think it's a lady walking barefoot on some grass. And you will know how that feels because we have done it 100 times over as children, as adults, when we walking on the sand on the beach, when we kind of lay on the grass if it's a sunny day. We take those things for granted. But think how good you feel when you do that. Connecting yourself to the earth is something that cannot be explained, and I would encourage you to do a little bit of reading around that because it's absolutely fascinating how the earth's energy and your energy can meet, and that can help you. It can help you ground you, can help you calm you, but also gives you a huge sense of well-being and peace. And the final thing there is abundance. Now, there were quite a few pictures when I was creating this webinar about what kind of picture I'd put in there. And the thing that when you Google abundance, the first pictures that come up is money, wealth. Now, that absolutely, is associated with the word abundance. But when I talk about abundance, I'm talking here about living an abundant life, similar to what we talked about with gratitude. Your life is full of abundance if only you would appreciate what you have. Now, abundance can come in all shapes and sizes. It can come from, shelter, food, the social companionship you have with others, the self-actualization and your own desire to better yourself, and nature. All of these things are really helpful for you to live an abundant life through gratitude. Now, you might not have heard of a chap called Deepak Chopra, and this guy is absolutely amazing. If it's nothing else, his voice is incredible. It's so soothing, and he has, I think it's 12 Days of Abundance, but if you go on YouTube or Google it, that will come up straight away. And the way that he talks about abundance, you cannot help but be absolutely swept away by what he's saying and the words that he says. So a look at that, because that is certainly something that has blown my mind when I've done that practice along with him on YouTube. So happiness. I don't think we could talk about energy without talking about happiness, because obviously if we are happy, we have got great energy. If we're unhappy, we have a very, very poor energy supply in our bodies. Now, happiness does not lie in a change of circumstance. So you can't really say, well, if I lived in, in the Maldives, I'd be a lot happier. If I had £100,000 more in my bank account, I would be a lot happier. It doesn't really work like that. And happiness is not something that must be found. You can't find happiness. And you are not born either happy or unhappy. Now, we've all heard people say, oh, he was a really happy child. I think, they were born, he or she was born happy. That really isn't a fact. Happiness comes from lots of things, either in your environment and your beliefs and how you live your life. There's a couple of books on happiness that I've been reading. I'm going to put a kind of reel on my Instagram in a couple of days of some of the things that I've done, and books that I've kind of read to kind of help me create this webinar. So have a look at that Instagram reel in the next couple of days to look at some of those recommendations. But something else you could try is, on a scale of 1 to 10, you can score yourself on how happy you are. And be really honest around that. And I suppose either you can do this before or after you score yourself, or you can do it today, score yourself today. You can practice some of these tools for the next couple of weeks, and then you can score yourself again on a scale of 1 to 10. What are the things that make you happy? Have a little think about that. Jot a couple of things down. And when you've jotted a couple of things down, what do you notice about those things? Are they things that are hard to achieve? Are they things that are out of your reach? Are they things that cost a lot of money? I would hazard a guess that these things are the simple things in life. So family, friends, children, relationships, etc. And those things are in your life now. And it's about how you harness them, how much energy you devote into those things that make you happy will give you that score of out of 10, and then influence how intensely you are vibrating in that kind of energy system that we talked about before, being empathetic, being intuitive, being a person that people are drawn to, etc., etc. So that's something perhaps you can practice for yourselves. Now, energy has a real connection with influence. And we're talking now about positive influence, because we are talking about positive energy. We're not talking about negative energy or no energy. We are talking about having abundance of energy. And these things will absolutely influence the energy that you have. The physical environment around you, there is, again, a wealth of research around how your environment is helpful to your well-being. The people that are around you. Now, I talked a little bit about this before, and I said we'd come back to it. Who are the people around you? So what are the people like that you socialize with, that you are with on a daily basis? Are they your people? Are they people that you connect with? Are they people that are supportive to you? Are they your champions? Are they the people that jolly you on? Are they the people that you can go to when you're struggling or you're not sure of something? What kind of energy do you get off these people when you've spent some time with them and you come home? Do you think, oh, Jenny was on one tonight, she had real problems, etc. Or do you come away from, apologies to any Jennies out there, that was just a random name. If you know me, I always talk about Bobby and Jenny. No offense, no offense intended. Or do you come away from being with those people that you're around and you feel enthusiastic, you feel, oh, it was a great coffee meeting, or we had a great time tonight, it was just so much fun, etc. Have a think about that, because I really think that if those people are people that don't give you good energy, that are not championing you, that are not your people, then you shouldn't be around them, is my view. And that's really difficult. That is a brave thing to do, to move away from people that do not serve a purpose for you in your life and what you are trying to achieve. I shall leave that there. Controversial, perhaps. Social media, oh my goodness. Now, of course, social media can, be a massive part of people's lives, and it can be a powerful tool, but it also can be a real sapper of energy. And I suppose I probably use too much social media, but I know people in my life that use social media 10 times more than me. And it can absolutely drain your energy, especially if the stuff that you're looking at is stuff that doesn't make you feel good. Why are you following people that you think, when you listen to them, what they're talking about? Oh, I could never be like that person. Absolutely. Why would you want to be like that person? You are your own person. So really have a think about social media and the part it plays in your life, and the energy that it gives you or the energy that it takes away from you. And this last one is really important, and it's really important to me, personal development. Now, I was an avid reader, and for lots of reasons in my life, reading fell off the radar. Until last year, I hadn't read a book for 7 years. Now, the development and the work that I've done on myself since starting reading personal development books is off the chart. And it doesn't have to be personal development books, but I would absolutely encourage you to have a think about the books that you are reading. It's obviously, great. Everybody takes the books to the beach with them on the holidays, and that's brilliant. It's escapism, it's fabulous, and that is good for your well-being as well. But have a look at some personal development books and really think about what you could learn from that, the areas of your life perhaps that you're feeling not kind of satisfied with, or maybe feel a bit lacking, you don't feel fulfilled. This is what I'm reading at the moment, and I keep on dipping in and out of it. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Absolutely amazing. And it's so thought-provoking around the habits that you have and how you can break habits and how you can create new habits. So I really would encourage you, even if you try to read maybe 5 pages a day. That was a big struggle for me last year, a real big struggle for me. And when I finished my first book, I was absolutely ecstatic, and I hadn't read, as I say, a book for 7 years. So set yourself a challenge to put down your romance novel or your fiction novel, and try yourself a self-development or a personal development book. So what relationship do you have with yourself? So this is really important here. And like I said before, sometimes we don't look after ourselves because we're that busy looking after everybody else, our families, our children, our parents, if we're a carer, etc., etc., other people in work, whoever you have a relationship with. Sometimes the relationship with them is more important than the relationship with yourself. And there isn't anything more important than the relationship that you have with yourself. To give yourself that energy to carry on with the day, to look after other people. You've heard the saying, put on your own oxygen mask first. And this is absolutely the key message here around putting on that oxygen mask to give yourself energy before you can help others. So being compassionate. Are you compassionate with yourself? Do you give yourself a hard time? Are you your worst critic? I know I am. Learn to be kind to yourself. Learn to be compassionate to yourself. What are your talents? We all have talents. We are all good at stuff. And it doesn't have to be, the big stuff. We have talent inside ourselves. It's about understanding what that talent is and exploiting that to the best benefit. Please do not spend time on things that you're not good at to make those better. Waste of time. Focus your energy and the growth in the things you are good at to make those things even better. And think about your accomplishments. What have you achieved? You will have achieved a raft of stuff in your life. And this doesn't have to be, academic accomplishments. The most powerful and the best accomplishments are those that you have achieved in your daily life. And again, if you have a bit of piece of paper, just jot down a couple of things that maybe come to your mind now when you think of accomplishments. Maybe the biggest accomplishment for you is that you've had children. Maybe the biggest accomplishment for you is that you've got a gym membership and you haven't exercised for 20 years and your New Year's resolution was to walk 5 miles on a treadmill. It can be anything, but there are accomplishments in your life, believe you me. And finally, I want to read this to you, and I'm going to read this really slowly. The universe responds to your frequency. It doesn't recognize your personal desires, wants, or needs. It only understands the frequency in which you are vibrating at. For example, if you are vibrating in the frequency of fear, guilt, or shame, you are going to attract things of a similar vibration. If you are vibrating in the frequency of love, joy, and abundance, you are going to attract the things that support that frequency. It's kind of like tuning into a radio station. You have to be tuning into the music you want to listen to, just like you have to be tuned into the energy you want to manifest into your life. Change your mindset, it will change your life. And I think that is a good place to end this webinar on energy, because we've gone right back to the start where we talked about vibrating at a high intensity. Are you a high vibrational person? And it says there that you are, if you are vibrating in the frequency of love, joy, and abundance. But on the opposite side, if you are vibrating in a frequency of fear, guilt, or shame, you are going to attract things or people of the same vibration. Think about that when I talked about the environment that you're in, the people that you have in your life, your social media activity. Everything comes back to what you do, how you behave, what you feel, and how you live your life. To get all of that energy in you to be able to live the life that you want, achieve the goals that you want, live a fulfilling, prosperous life. Nobody's coming to save you. This is it, folks. This is it, ladies. You only have this one life. So absolutely make the most of it. I am going to stop sharing my screen if I can. she says. I'm not sure if I have or not. However, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully you can still see me. So I am absolutely delighted that you decided to join me. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel. So I hope you get a chance to either direct people to that, or if you have resonated with anything, and you want to know a little bit more about life coaching, then of course reach out to me. I'll be absolutely delighted to speak to you. I have some free stuff going on at the moment, which could kind of give you a little bit of an insight into what life coaching is about and how it can help you. But again, so many thanks for joining me on this very cold Tuesday evening. And I hope to see you soon later on in the year with another webinar. See you soon.